Here comes the only member of an extremely average American boxing team to get into the medals, and he's probably one of the more average of an average boxing team. Deontay Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And this is the reigning world champion from Italy, Clemente and Russo. I suppose the two pretty seasoned campaigners to get here. And the great Felix Savon of Cuba used to do that to intimidate his opponents. Deontay Wilder at 6'7" is by far the tallest heavyweight in the division. In fact, only Britain's Mr. Price at 6'8" in the super heavyweight division is taller. Former basketball player, surprise, surprise, Deontay Wilder. So Shakir from Russia already through to the final of the heavyweight division. And is it going to be Italy or the United States who joins him in the shape of either Clemente Russo in blue, the Italian, and the reigning world champion, or Deontay Wilder from the United States. Wilder 22, Russo 26. Russo boxed 4 years ago in Athens as a light heavy, but he's bulked up quite a bit. Hasn't grown anything in height, needless to say, but he's bulked up, put on an extra, well, the best part of 10 kilograms. I have to say, Richie, he is one of the most horrible boxers to watch, Russo.
Well, yeah, maybe so, but he's very effective at what he does. He's got good movement, and here he'll be looking to land that right hand over the top for sure. He'll also be looking to land to the body, here the Italian, and he may try and draw the attack from Wilder and make him fall short. I just can't believe the difference in size, these two guys.
Well, Russo's just about an inch under 6 feet tall. Wilder is at 6'7", so in terms of height, there's some 8 inches difference. Russo's got the first point. He'd be happy if it stays like that.
There's that right hand knock. He's delivered 2 now over the top. He scored with the 1, and Wilder really, he cannot afford to fall short with that left hand of his. And when he throws the jab, he's got to get it back to the guard position as fast as possible.
Russo tries to step in. Wilder's closed his man down. Wilder come through against 2 North Africans, one from Algeria, and then in his quarter-final it was 10-0 in an awful contest against a Moroccan who was actually given a warning late in the 4th round, which added 2 points onto the score of Wilder's. It went to 10 apiece, and the American got it on a count back. 1 point between them at the end of this first round. This is the worst heavyweight division I've ever seen.
Yeah, a bit of a stinker as well in that round. But I was expecting him to work the body a little bit more, and maybe he will in this round, but it's just the odd right hand over the top, isn't it? Also, he's trying to lead with the left up now and again, Russo, but poor round of boxing.
Francesco Damiani, who was a former Olympic silver medalist in the super heavy division in the Italian corner. John Campbell in the American corner, who's getting a roasting back on the stage in the American press.
Don't worry about nothing yet, okay? 1-0, stay in control. Your jab's looking really good. Double it up every now and then. After the second round,
You should also be telling him, Jim, there to throw the right uppercut off that jab against this little man.
Still a fair bit to go, but you would be betting on an Olympic final, which sees a repeat of the World Championship final, already through. There's the World Championship runner-up, Shakir from Russia. And although he's 1-0 up, you have to fancy the man in blue here from Italy, the reigning world champion, Clemente Russo. Wilder's just got to be a little bit braver, Richie. He's got all those attributes in terms of height and reach. I mean, that little tapping thing is maybe a sighting shot, but he's big enough and long enough and far enough away to try throwing the the left hand after that, rather, or the right hand after that tentative jab of his.
Yeah, what he should be doing also is just sitting back a little bit and throwing out plenty of jabs, but actually maybe now and again throwing out the jab as a feint and to trigger the attack from Russo, and then just got to sit back and throw either a right, straight right, or a right uppercut come left hook. That's what he's got to do, but he doesn't need to be overreaching. Just bring your man onto the shots. You've got the height and reach.
A little bit more urgency about Russo now. He's trying to get inside a little bit. Dear, oh dear, this is awful. Score hasn't progressed since the start of the round. 1-0 to Italy.
The Italians themselves, Jim, won't be that pleased with it just being a 1-0. Believe you me, they'll want a bit of a cushion, and they'll be encouraging their man to. That was a nice little sidestep there from Russo, but he just didn't score off it. They've got to get, they've got to get 3 or 4 points cushion.
Which I don't care. I suspect that Russo, if he can win this 1-0, he'll settle for it. I just love, for the sake of the contest, I just love Wilder to actually catch him with something and bring it back to level pegging and actually force them to do a little bit more than what they're doing at the minute. It is horrible.
Yeah, from the Olympic semi-final, it's not very good at all.
Sei sempre un punto sopra, però devi fare qua, devi essere più preciso, hai capito? Devi essere più preciso, spinto, fallo partire, incrocialo col gancio dentro. Quando niente. Second time is when you go get the point, because they're not going to score it. Bang, step over, bang, okay?
So what can the American do to turn this one around, Richie?
He's just going to throw the jab more, Jim, and sit back. He can either do that or he can actually go on the front foot and really try to press home his long straight punches, but he's got to box at range. He's got to use the uppercut when the guy comes to him. It's quite simple. It's not hard to work out. Just look at the size of these guys. Just work off your jab, throw the uppercut as the guy comes to you.
Well, I'm not sure if there's a boxing alternative to sleeping pills, but this would be it. 1-0 to the reigning world champion, Clemente Russo from Italy. That's the fellow in blue, the short of the two by the best part of 8 inches against Deontay Wilder, the only boxer from a 10-strong and 9-strong American team to get into the medals. America's worst performance in the history of Olympic boxing. And this man was even lucky to get to the semi-finals. Better footwork by the Italian, and he's picked up a point. Very nearly conceded one. The Italian corner had been told to be quiet, and Russo now knows he's got the extra point, and I think he'll just get on his bike from here on in.
Well, Wilder there, as he was going forward, he was trying to press home and attack, but he fell short. Good movement from Russo, and Wilder fell short and walked onto a shot. The worst thing you can do is fall short against a shorter opponent if you've got the height and reach advantage. It really is. And a boxer like Russo, this is what he preys on, he really does.
Olympic heavyweight semi-final, and it's 2-0. 3-0. Well done. Hooray! Bravo! Well, even our enthusiastic Italian broadcasting colleagues 6 feet from us are threatening to fall asleep.
There was an uppercut that went in there, but it was from the wrong opponent. It was from Russo actually threw the right uppercut.
We have a very vociferous, albeit knowledgeable, Canadian commentary colleague who will have his own views on Russo, and I'm glad we're pretty far away from him because his language would be quite colourful. Well, Russo's in more danger of the tongue lashing he's getting in his own corner than he is from the Americans punching. He's just not good enough, Wilder, is he?
No, he isn't. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to win this contest. I'll be very surprised if he turns this one around. He just falls short. His feet are all over the place. Russo there pounced on him because he fell short with that attack. Not very accurate with it. And Russo just brings him onto the shot there as well, but that one didn't score. But it's an awful contest, it really is.
I mean, Wilder shouldn't be there in the first place. And how Russo won a world title last year, I have absolutely no idea. He beat Danny Price last year in his opening contest, the Englishman, then the boxer from the Czech Republic, then a German who had beaten him in the Euros the previous year. Boxers from Macedonia, the semi-final, China, and then 7-6. Another crowd pleaser against Rakhim Shakayev from Russia, whom it honestly was pretty certain he's going to meet in the final.
Well, at the start of this round, Wilder actually landed with a good jab, and it wasn't scored. It wasn't too far away again with that one. But he just can't. He can't maintain the gap. This is his problem. He can't box on the inside either, Wilder. Obviously, he's very long arms against this man who's so short. That would suit him better. But he just can't maintain a gap. It's just an awful contest, it really is.
And the Russian is a lot shorter and is more the size of Russo. And it's pretty certain he's going to meet the Russian in the final, but the Russian hasn't got the foot speed to deal with Russo. So we could see another, well, narrow Italian victory, I have a feeling. Well, you know, Richie, if in the years to come I have trouble sleeping, I'm going to play the tape of this one. But I think a large mug of cocoa with an extra couple of spoonfuls in it would probably do the job just as well and would be much more pleasant.
Oh, that was better, yeah, from Russo.
Yeah, picked up a punch with a left and then a right and then another one, and that's a little bit better from him against the totally outclassed and rather shambolic American. And it's been a totally outclassed and rather shambolic American effort here. Oh, well, hooray for the Stars and Stripes. Deontay Wilder, completely outgunned, completely outboxed, has managed to pick up a point. And what a dreadful, dreadful, dreadful heavyweight boxing semi-final. Russo is on his way to either silver or gold, and the way he's going, it'll probably be gold. But I'll tell you something, if he is an Olympic champion, I am a prima ballerina.
Yeah, not a great contest, not a great advert for the sport either, to be quite honest. But I don't know, horses for courses. At the end of the day, Russo got through there towards the last 30 or 40 seconds, managed to score a couple of good points. But on the whole, a dreadful contest, and he's going to have to box a lot better to become Olympic champion, no doubt.
Well, he's up against the man he beat in the World Championships last year, Shakayev from Russia. It's going to be a rerun of that. And we say farewell to the last representative of what's been a very disappointing American Olympic boxing team. And Italy have a man into the heavyweight final.